Oy vey Izmir, when will the madness stop? How much longer must this go on? I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this bullshit anymore. I want you to go right now, and say, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore. New York Post. Now empty 42 million New York City WeWork office building offered as an emergency migrant shelter. Wow! Say it ain't so. Unfortunately, my friends, it is so. The more I dig deeper and deeper into this crisis, the worse things look and appear. So let's break this down, my friends. I posed a very simple question. I ask, based on this news feed, is this location only for the migrants? And this is what it said.
The 16-story building in the Garment District, formerly occupied by WeWork, has been proposed to be converted into an emergency shelter for migrants. The landlord of 315 West 36th Street has proposed converting the building into a city humanitarian emergency response and relief center for asylum seekers. However, a City Hall spokesperson said it had received the proposal, but that it was not under active consideration. Therefore, it's not confirmed yet whether this location will be used exclusively for migrants. It's best to follow the news for updates on this matter.
Notice how everything, in my opinion, is geared towards the migrants. We gotta help the migrants. We gotta do whatever it takes to help the migrants. But I don't ever recall, based on my opinion, any concerted effort on this scale to help the regular American citizens who are homeless in New York City. Go down to the local subway station in New York City. You will find homeless Americans living in the subway systems. Unbelievable. Everything for the migrants who are non-citizens at this point. Unbelievable. But the American citizens who are homeless in New York City living in the subways and in the shelter system, well, they get bupkis. Unbelievable. So I pose another question. If it is approved, will the city rent out the location from the owner? And this is what it had to say.
If the proposal is approved, it's likely that the city would enter into a lease agreement with the building's owner. The owner of 315 W 36th Street is reportedly in discussions with the New York City government to sign a 3-year lease to turn the office space into a migrant shelter. However, the specifics of the arrangement, including the rental terms, would depend on the negotiations between the city and the building's owner. It's also worth noting that the city has been known to spend significantly on no-bid shelter and emergency services contracts. Please follow the news for the most accurate and up-to-date information.
Wow, let me see if I understand this again. It said, the owner of 315 West 36th Street is reportedly in discussions with New York City government to sign a 3-year lease to turn the office space into a migrant shelter? Seriously? 3-year lease? 3-year lease? Is it going to take 3 years till the fiasco with the migrant crisis ends? Are we supposed to house the migrants up to 3 years at this location if it's proposed? Wow. Unbelievable. So I pose the final question, because we got to know. Is this current location in some kind of debt? That's what we got to know. And it came back and it said, you guys ready for this?
Yes, the building at 315 West 36th Street in New York City, which was formerly occupied by WeWork, has faced financial difficulties. WeWork stopped paying rent, which significantly impacted the building's revenue. This led to the owner, David Burley of Walter and Samuels, defaulting on debt payments. The building's $77 million loan was transferred to special servicing due to payment default. It's important to note that these events have occurred in the past, and the current financial situation may have changed. Please refer to the most recent news or public records for the most accurate information.
How interesting, huh? Alright, so let's look at the citations. Okay. New York Post. New York Post again. Off the press. New York Post again. Off the press. Off the press. It seems like from those two articles. But let's continue. Okay. Is now. What's that? Commercial Observer. The Real Deal. The Real Deal. The Real Deal. The Real Deal again. The Real Deal. Unbelievable, you guys. Unbelievable. Let's go for broke and ask, well, let's ask this. If the deal is approved for the 3-year lease with the city, how much will this lease cost the New York City taxpayers? That's a good question, right? Unbelievable, my friends. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable, my friends. I can't believe it. You guys ready for the answer?
The exact cost of the lease for the building at 315 West 36th Street to the New York City taxpayers is not specified in the information available. However, rental units in the building have been listed at various prices, with one unit priced at $4,350 per month. It's important to note that the cost to the city would depend on a variety of factors, including the terms of the lease agreement and the specific use of the building. The city has been known to spend significantly on no-bid shelter and emergency services contracts. Therefore, the actual cost could be higher or lower than the listed rental prices. For the most accurate information, it would be best to refer to official city documents or announcements. Please follow the news for the most accurate and up-to-date information.
Unbelievable. Let's look at the citation. Street easy. Okay. So yeah, ultimately, like, this migrant crisis, in my opinion, is a disaster, and somebody's gotta like step up to the plate and like nip this crisis in the bud, because we can't go on like this. Unbelievable.